Change this a little bit. What is up, Heat Seekers? Week 11. Week 11 already. It's crazy. Bryce, how you doing on week 11? How are your leagues looking?
Today is a big day, definitely in a couple of leagues. Some other leagues I'm pretty much locked in for the playoffs. Luckily, in some of those leagues that I'm in kind of a must-win, I took some last-minute substitutions and put in Christian Watson over Kadarius Toney. Just had a feeling. Got lucky there. So I'm off to a good start, but things can change very horribly for me today, seems like they always do. But we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. Sully, what about you?
Doing okay. I have a couple of contending teams that are about 3 losses, so I'm probably a playoff team. We'll see if I can get one of those top 2 seats to get a bye in the first week, but kind of focused on my guillotine league right now. I think we're down to about 8 teams, and it's touch and go. Projections have everyone within about 5-6 points, so want to keep plugging along there. That's a fun league to play in, and yeah, it's Grey Cup Sunday in Canada for all you Canadians that are watching. My Winnipeg Blue Bombers are trying to win their 3rd straight Grey Cup. Little fun fact.
So what's the other part of the Grey Cup for us Americans that have no idea about hockey?
Well, it's football, first of all.
I was like, oh, is it hockey or soccer?
No, man.
I don't know what's going on.
The Canadian Football League Championship game is today. It's called the Grey Cup.
Oh,
Are the Canadians better than the Americans? I'm assuming yes.
What's that, Bryce?
Are Canadian football players better than the Americans?
No.
Oh, and I didn't know. I don't even know.
This is actual football, right? Not soccer.
Yeah, man. It's 3-down football.
Yeah, Bryce. See, we don't know what the hell's going on.
It's actual in a football.
So,
play. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
it's flag. It's flag football, but
I think of like European.
No, there's been some decent players that have once played in the Canadian Football League that have transitioned to the NFL, like Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia. Off the top of my head.
Dwayne Johnson turned into a movie star and wrestling star after playing in it.
Yeah, so I live in Calgary, and The Rock was on the practice roster of the Calgary Stampeders and got cut. And that's when he was like, I'm going to go wrestle. So
yeah. If I can't make this football team, then
there you go. Rick, how are your teams?
The ones that matter are doing well.
Matters,
except for Grand Prix, where I just can't.
Got the Grand Prix. I was going to remind you.
There's still 4 weeks though, and I'm still right there because I'm leading in points. So the tiebreakers don't bother me. If I can get a couple wins here to close out the season, I can still sneak in. Plus, I get Keenan Allen back finally, and we'll see how long that lasts. But got Patterson back and Connor back, and now I kind of have my players back. Now I just need them to go out there and perform. But yeah, I'm. So what? I'd be 8-2 in the new best ball that we started up. I'm 7-3 in another one of the 250s. So 3 of them I have pretty good squads. Just need stuff to play out the right way. Make some of this money back that I've donated this year. I'm sure my bet sheet don't look that good. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even want to.
I went 0 for 3 this last week.
I looked at it this morning and was like, I started well and have not been. I might need to stop. I'm on a bit of
he started real
shit
hot.
Streak.
Yeah, out of his last 1, 2,
I'm ice
3,
cold.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of his last 8 bets, he's won 1 of them.
Oh, that'll do. So what's the score here? How much? Am I up? Am I down?
I've just kind of looked. I mean, since you won that $20 one against him, you're probably up.
What a pile
overall,
of shit that one was.
But you probably won the most by a little bit next to me. So
all right.
Hey, I'm still medaling.
Yeah.
Still on the podium.
Well, Ronnie needs to know.
All right.
I started Christian Watson and Aaron Jones Thursday night. Olave, Amon-Ra, Slayton, Devonta Smith, Ramondre, Foreman. Need 2 and a flex. Sully, we'll let you start here with this one.
Okay.
Get us rolling today.
I need 2 and a flex. Pretty hard for me to get away from Amon-Ra and Ramondre. So those are my 2. Now I need a flex between Olave, Smith, and Foreman. I don't like Foreman that much. I will flex Olave. Bryce?
Yeah, it's the same 3 for me. I saw the list, and it was pretty easy for me to decide on Olave, Amon-Ra, and Ramondre. So I'll go with those same 3 as well. Rick?
I might go different here. This would depend again on where I'm at. Foreman's just been kicking too much ass, and it's real hard to sit him. So I feel like going Ramondre and Foreman give you a pretty good floor. And then I would be Amon-Ra as well. So if I really needed the upside, then I agree. I would go with Olave if I'm playing against a really good squad. But yeah, I think I go Ramondre, Foreman, and Amon-Ra. Okay, Robert needs to know Olave, Davis, or Cooper, non-PPR. Start one out of these 3. Davis. What Davis am I thinking here?
It's probably Gabe, right?
Gabe.
Yeah.
Non-PPR.
Non-PPR. I will take the guy who I think gets more targets, which should lead to more catches and yards and maybe a touchdown, and that's Cooper.
I'm going Cooper as well.
Yeah, I'll go Amari Cooper, but it's razor thin between him and Olave for me.
I agree. I might go Olave if Winston was the QB because he would probably hit him on an 80-yarder and throw 6 picks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but then I would go Cooper if Watson was the quarterback.
Yeah.
So we can have that argument about both.
Well, one's actually eligible to be a quarterback this week. One isn't.
I mean, is Winston really eligible to be a quarterback?
Yes, sir, he is.
I don't know that
Andy Dalton gets hurt.
Come on. How is he not? How's he not better than Andy Dalton at this point?
Well, that's a good point.
They might just want to lose.
Marco says
they don't have their first, though.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles have their pick.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to get a top 5 pick.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Got JT, Pacheco, Mitchell, James Cook, James Robinson. Start 2, half PPR. I think we're all on board with JT, right?
Yeah, it's a start 1.
Let's just go ahead and throw
100%.
JT in there.
Yeah.
Dude, I might be going Mitchell here. Had 18 carries last week, I think, in his return, even with Christian McCaffrey there, playing on that good offense. Has 2 touchdown upside on a week-to-week basis in that offense. And for people that don't believe that, when Jeff Wilson was the 3rd string running back, we seen him get multiple touchdowns in a week. So we know how that running game works there. So I'm going JT and Mitchell. I think they're the 2 best running backs here. And in the 2 best situations. Sully, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with Pacheco. Not crazy about the KC backfield, but he's dominating their carries. They're playing the Chargers, who are pretty terrible against the run. And I think he is probably the best option next to JT here. Bryce?
I'm going to agree with Pacheco. I mean, he got 16 touches.
Put it in the books.
Huh?
Put it in the books.
You want to bet this one?
I will.
Yeah, we can. Pacheco got 16 touches himself. He just, again, two guys, though, he and Mitchell really have the same upside every week, right? But Pacheco's technically the starter, but their usage is relatively the same if they continue these touches. But I'll put it in there. Pacheco versus Elijah Mitchell.
Half PPR. Start Drake London versus Bears, Deonta Foreman versus Ravens, or Nico Collins versus the Commanders. Sully, where are you going with this one?
This one's fairly easily Foreman for me.
Bryce?
Yeah, it's Foreman. I saw this one in the chat. And is Nico Collins? Did he practice this week? I don't even know.
I think he's going to play.
Is he? And then Drake London might only get 3 targets and be the leading a receiver on that.
3 targets is a good week.
Yeah, because they just don't throw the ball.
I hate them so much.
So I'll take Deontay Foreman. Pretty confident he probably doubles these guys' touches.
I'm going Foreman as well, but if I really need the upside, I'm going London because I think Atlanta's gonna have to throw the ball today. We've seen the Bears have been the highest scoring team over the last 3 weeks. They're gonna have to throw more, and the Bears secondary's kind of crushed right now. And I mean, it's not like they were stopping people before because they're the leading scoring team over the last 3 weeks, but they are 0 wins in the last 3 weeks. So tell me how that works out.
Sounds like your fantasy team.
Yep. Standard, Dulcich or Komet? Bryce, where are you going with this one?
This is quite easily Komet. I mean, the way that offense is just when you just alluded to it, the way that offense has been scoring and Komet is being heavily involved now. Komet is a top, seems to be a top 5 tight end play each week now. Sully?
The smart play is Cole Komet. I'm not smart. I'm going to go with Dulcich here. I just see a tight end in Chicago, incredibly touchdown dependent. And that's all he does, is catch touchdowns. So the regression is coming for Cole Komet. Atlanta's decent against the tight end. They're horrific against the wide receiver and very receptive to running on. So I think Dulcich is in a really good spot against the Raiders. So I'm going to go with him this week.
I'm Komet too. His targets are way up. He's had 13 over the last 2 weeks. You don't get that very often. The offense is scoring. Denver's not, so very unlikely to get a Dulcich touchdown with the way they're scoring. So yeah, I'm Komet there as well. Marco says Thielen, Cooks, Palmer, Dotson, Thornton, McKenzie, Wandale Robinson, and Scrotum. Marco now just adds Scrotum in there just to get.
He probably doesn't even have him on his roster anymore.
Right? He's not even his player, but okay, we got 3 of these, and I'm gonna have trouble here, I think.
With all due respect, these guys are all kind of gross now, hey?
Yeah, and all really close to each other. But I think when I look at this, I think Thielen and Dotson really pop out to me because they don't have to get a lot of work to have a big week, right? They can both get 2 touchdowns today. And I think I'm going to have them 2 in there. And then it's probably Brandon Cooks for me. Thielen, Cooks, and Dotson is where I'm going to go. Bryce?
Yep, those are the 3 I was going to as well. Even though Brandon Cooks got his captain badge stripped, he still had 7 targets last week, which is pretty on par with what he's been getting. Still not great, but out of these options, he's probably the 2nd or 3rd best. I agree. Sully?
Adam Thielen isn't getting his end zone targets like he has historically, but he is still seeing 7 targets a game, and I think he has a decent game today against the Cowboys. Heineke doesn't really like Dotson like Wentz did, but I agree with Rick that the touchdown upside is there, so I'll go there. It's the 3rd one I really struggle with. Brandon Cooks has been, for the most part, irrelevant this season. Palmer has the 2 guys coming back. I'll join you with Brandon Cooks, but I really don't like it. I'm teetering on the Wandale McKenzie side there, but I'll go with Cooks.
Yeah, I don't love it at all. All I know is that I don't want to play Scrotum. Jeff Fields, I feel like, has Jeff been missing for a couple weeks?
He might not have been here last week. I'm not sure, but he's pretty much
last week. But you guys, I wasn't here the week before.
Yeah, the week before he was definitely here.
Good morning, gentlemen. How do you guys feel about Christian Watson rest of season, full PPR? I'm thinking he's a high risk, high reward kind of player that could hopefully win you a week or 2. I think that's what we're seeing, right? He's clicking with Aaron Rodgers right now, and if you can be the wide receiver clicking with Aaron Rodgers down the stretch, it's going to be big. As we've seen over the last 2 weeks. But like Sully said about Komet, Komet's had 5 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks, and Christian Watson has had 5 in the past 2. So that touchdown regression is going to come, but that doesn't mean that it can't be made up with some more PPR points and and whatnot, depending on the league that you're in. So I think Christian Watson's a must start going forward until something else happens. It could be we see like what Sully again was talking about Dotson. It could just be a 2-week thing, and then he kind of fades a little bit. But what are your thoughts there, Bryce?
I think he's a very, very solid flex play unless you're just stacked. If you're getting the looks and targets that Aaron Rodgers is throwing Christian Watson, I mean, he's got 2-3 touchdown upside every week, and we have now seen it 2 weeks in a row. The guy started off the season injured, hobbled, and now he's healthy. And this is what I think a lot of people were maybe expecting by like week 5 or 6 this year, but it's coming a little bit later, but better late than never. So I think he's a must start, especially in the flex spot rest of the season until he has maybe a couple of bad weeks. So, Sully?
Yeah, I kind of have mixed emotions here. I think he's a talented player that anytime Aaron Rodgers locks onto a wide receiver, he seems to target him to death. I think the bigger problem for Christian Watson, believe it or not, is actually Aaron Rodgers. He looks brutal. He's missing guys. He's late on throws. He looks disinterested. With that being said, Christian Watson probably finds himself into your lineup. I'm not at must start level for him. Maybe he's a flex. But yeah, you can't get away from the touchdown upside. I just think there's a pretty low floor there as well. But for most of my lineups, if Christian Watson was on my roster, he would be a weekly starter.
Jose says Kareem Hunt or Ezekiel Elliott full PPR. Sully.
Zeke by leaps and bounds for me. Bryce?
Yeah, I'll take Zeke as well. If he's healthy and playing, I think that they go back to a similar timeshare. Maybe Pollard gets a few more touches than he was, but I think that's a split backfield on an offense that can score. So I'll take Zeke pretty easily. Rick?
Yeah, I'm going Zeke. You guys said everything that I would have said. John says half PPR pick 1, Drake London. We did this one already. Okay, Josh Palmer's in here now versus the Chiefs. You're still taking Foreman, right?
I am.
Same here,
Yep.
Same here.
Yep.
Robert says thanks.
Welcome.
And then Ronnie says Bills or Commanders DST.
Who did the Commanders play?
They play the Texans in Houston.
I'm taking the Commanders in this one.
So am I.
I'll take the Commanders as well.
I feel like Cleveland's just going to run the ball.
Yeah, I think they have to try and control time of possession today.
Agree with both of you.
Castile says for Foster Moreau or Gerald Everett. I'll take Dallas for 5 over the Vikings also, Sully. So Castile wants to get a little action in here.
Well, Castile, first of all, thanks for actually making it onto YouTube like a couple of weeks in a row and not being some mysterious Facebook user. So we appreciate that. I think you got to go Foster Moreau. Gerald Everett was added to the injury report yesterday, which is never a good thing. And Gerald Everett was relevant in the offense when there was no one else to pass to. So if everyone comes back in that offense, I don't see. What?
From a person that has Gerald Everett everywhere, he was actually more relevant at the beginning of the season with the healthy players than he has been over the past few weeks with them all out.
All right.
That was all I was going to add is that he's actually
that's cool.
He's actually been worse with them all out, and that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Either way, I'm getting away from him this week. I'm not even sure he plays. And Dallas for 5 over the Vikings. I'm not taking that bet. I never bet against my team or for my team. So good luck to you, Cowboys fan. Bryce, what are you doing here?
I'll go with Foster Moreau too. Gerald Everett has made his way to my bench spot in a lot of leagues because of just how he's been playing lately. If he starts to play well again, cool. With everyone healthy, I'd like to see it. But I'll go with the Foster, who I think will get more targets. So I'm not taking any $5 bets with those two teams either.
Right. I'm going Foster Moreau as well. I've been very, very disappointed in Gerald Everett because in leagues where he was keeping me afloat early in the season, like in that best ball league where I have him and Waller and Kyle Pitts, and somehow Kate Otton's been my best tight end over the past 5 weeks, is disgustingly gross.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, so I'm going Foster here. I think, especially with Hunter Renfrow out as well, they need that safety blanket, and he kind of acts like that. And he's always kind of stepped up and been at least serviceable when given an opportunity there in the Raiders offense, even though the Raiders offense blows. And I'm sure the Raiders wish they could give Josh McDaniels back to the Patriots. He just needs to stick to being an offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I did read
better at that spot.
I did read he was 6-0 to start his head coaching career. Then he got busted for taping opponents' practices. And he's like 7-24 since then.
He started 6-0 and they finished that year 8-8.
Yeah. Not good. I have Debo in a standard scoring league. I also almost started Christian Watson over him, and I have A.J. Brown with no flex. What are your thoughts on that situation? Well, the situation is you're not starting Christian Watson over A.J. Brown or Debo. We're not to that point yet. Especially after it was only 1 week going into this one. You made the right play. It's process driven right now. The results may not be what you want, but you made the right play. Sully?
Yeah, 100%. But I'm going AJ Brown over Debo Samuel if that's my choice that I have to make.
Yeah, if that's what the question is, then I'm going AJ Brown. AJ Brown's probably got what? Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson and maybe Stephon Diggs ahead of him. Cooper Kupp's out, so
Devontae Adams.
Let me look at my rank.
I mean, AJ Brown's got to be like top 5, 6 at the worst, right?
This week for me, Jefferson, Diggs, Lamb, Adams, Hopkins, Amon-Ra, AJ Brown. So I have him 7th.
Oh, there's a couple guys in there I would never have ahead of him, but yeah, I mean, you're AJ Brown is, if you don't start AJ Brown, then quit fantasy. Quit fantasy.
Or you're just so good at it that you have three or four of the guys that Sully just named, maybe.
If you have those, you're not in a league though. You're on Madden.
Who are the guys that you wouldn't never have over AJ Brown on that list?
Amon-Ra.
Okay.
Amon-Ra and probably CD Lamb.
Really?
I would start AJ Brown over both of those guys. Yeah.
I probably would too.
Especially with Dallas Goedert out now, in Philly.
Fair.
Robert, did we finish that? Did you talk, Bryce?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't understand the question, but I would agree AJ Brown over Debo if that's what it is.
But you're not starting Christian Watson over Debo, are you?
Not right now. Watson would have to do it again next week, and Debo would have to disappoint again before I even considered it.
Okay, Robert Perez says DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith, Kenyon Drake, full PPR start 3. So we're sitting 1, right? Am I reading? There's only 4 players here. I'm sitting DJ Moore.
Agree 100%.
I'm sitting Kenyon Drake. Gus Edwards is back this week. So
no, it doesn't sound like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They'll decide at game time, but it doesn't sound like it.
He was a full participant, wasn't he, on the last practice, though?
He might have been. Have you seen DJ Moore play with Baker Mayfield this year?
Yeah, but last time Gus Edwards came back in, he was getting goal line carries and was getting a lot of action.
And what happened? What was the result of that?
He got hurt.
Played since.
Yeah, I mean, he got hurt, but if he's
Kenyon Drake has been killing it.
If Kenyon Drake catches one pass and runs for 26 yards, he'll probably outscore DJ Moore this week. I'm sorry, but it's true.
It's true. It's so true.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying if Kenyon Drake's the starting back, sure, but if Gus Edwards is active and playing, I'm gonna.
I don't care who the starter is. DJ Moore sucks in Carolina, and they should have traded him because he'd be really good anywhere else. This isn't a DJ Moore
Baker
hate.
Mayfield. He sucks with Baker Mayfield.
He was only good with PJ Walker for 1 game.
2, and they've only played together for 3 this year.
No, I'm going to sit DJ Moore. Gus Edwards is unlikely to play.
I mean, he just told you that. Just to let you know, over on YouTube, I created a poll that says, "Does Bryce suck at fantasy football?"
Did you really?
Yeah. 64% of the viewing audience says yes.
Oh. I haven't voted, but I would vote no on that, Bryce.
I mean, that's just the northern hospitality.
Yeah, that's us. We're just hospitable folk.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Sleep on me.
Attaboy,
this one,
Bryce.
they hid this one. Where'd it go? Is it going to show up over here?
How many people voted on that?
Like 3.
Oh,
I have no idea.
14 votes.
dang!
Wow.
Who voted? I suck.
What a bunch of dicks.
Say
Jeez.
I in the chat if you voted that Bryce sucks at fantasy football.
I'm glad you're on the poll on Bryce, not on me. It'd probably be 100% if it was me.
Dang,
I can put it up.
I'm in like first in 3 leagues.
E-Rock says, hit that like button, baby. That's what's up, man. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the ones that didn't come through was Mr. Ronnie Daniels saying you guys are badass. Thanks
you.
and good luck today. We appreciate that. YouTube like blocked it. I had to approve it because it said badass in it.
Makes sense.
I need to let them know, like, if somebody says we're badass, just let it through. Let's not block that. We'll take those compliments. Our egos are fragile. E-Rock says, what's up, fellas? Big week for us all. Should I start Tony over Pierce in PPR? Thanks a lot. Good luck. Sully, are you starting Kadarius Toney over Damian Pierce?
Yeah. I don't like Kadarius Toney at all, and I'm still starting him over.
Wow.
Just the situation. How do I get away from that situation?
I asked you first because I figured you were going to say no. And
yeah, I don't like him. I've never been a fan. Didn't like him coming out. Obviously didn't like him in the 4 minutes that he played for the Giants. And he caught a touchdown last week and looked decent. But Juju's out. Hardman's on IR. They play the Chargers. I don't know how you don't start him. And Pierce is Pierce. He's nice, but nothing special. Bryce?
I think we skipped a question, but
we'll go back to it.
Okay. Yeah, this is Tony easily for me. I am a big Tony truther. I liked him coming out. I just don't think he wanted to play for the Giants. I don't really like how he handled it at all. But that talent with that quarterback on that roster, with all the opportunity to be a top end wide receiver, his upside is huge. And everyone's out this week. Tony and Hardman. Hardman and Juju. So it's just Tony and Kelsey. He could have a huge week. So yep.
Travis Kelce really loves him. I've got to love him. I'm going Tony. They said everything else that needs to be said. Who should I put in my flex? Palmer, Mitchell, Pitts, or Scrotum? Just recently added Scrotum again. He's just going to pick up Scrotum just to put him in the question.
Every league, baby.
Is this Mitchell easy for everybody? Because that's who it is for me pretty easily.
I think it's a big Kyle Pitts week personally, but I will.
So do I.
I will go safe and go Mitchell.
I would love to be able to put Pitts in any lineup for any reason, and right now I just don't think you can.
No, I agree. I think if Mitchell got 18 carries his first week back, even if he's getting 15, I mean that's just a super safe floor. So I'll agree and take Mitchell.
I think Mitchell has a horrifically disappointing week this week, but I'm still going with him because I think all of these guys probably do.
Boom, 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 boom. Bengals, Washington, or Saints D. This is for Perry over on the YouTube.
Bengals are in Pittsburgh. Washington is in Houston, and the Saints are marching at home against the Rams.
I mean, I'm going Washington again. I love they've got Young's back, right?
No,
he's not back this week. They still put a lot of pressure on. They've been playing better recently.
Yes.
I'm still going with Washington over Houston.
I'll go the Saints. That offensive line lets up so many sacks.
I'm going to go with the Saints as well. Stafford likes to throw picks as well, so he'll be under pressure all day and throw some interceptions. But I don't think there's anything wrong with Washington either.
Let's go ahead and remind everybody 2 minutes later to hit that like button. Bass, Folk, or Prater? Perry's asking all the ones that I don't have any experience with.
Love kicker questions.
This is easy.
ESD.
This is easy. This is Nick Folk. The Patriots cannot score. They can drive the ball, but they cannot score touchdowns. Nick Folk.
How's the weather in Boston?
I think it's just cold. Let's look.
I'll take Bass. He's got the leg, and he's now playing inside, so I'll take him.
64% of the public voted that Bryce sucks at fantasy football, so I'll have to go with Sully on this one and go with Bass. Hey, we've had this question already. We went with Komet, and me and Bryce went with Komet, and Sully went with Dulcich.
I have a Dulcich Pitts conundrum this week. That's
Dulcich. You cannot start Pitts unless you absolutely have to.
I didn't think
so. It sucks. It's terrible.
It hurts my heart, man.
I know it does.
Every week I die a little bit more.
He's my most expensive player in that new league, and I can't even never in my lineup.
Ridiculous.
I think he scored me like 33 points this week or this year. In my actually being in my lineup, it's crazy. Have pretty tough start sit today. Start 3 out of Swift, Mike Williams, Sutton, Tony, and Isaiah Pacheco. I'm sitting Sutton. And we've got 3 here. I'm sitting Sutton and Swift.
You're gonna sit Swift over Pacheco.
I mean, I think it's close. Swift. I mean, even last week in that game, he was second fiddle and got a touchdown to save his day. But
8 yards rushing.
Yeah, it's tough right now. If he doesn't get in the end zone, it's hard to see a good fantasy day. I think Pacheco could get enough touches to make it there. I mean, Swift could have a 30-point week. We've seen it before, but we're just not seeing it right now. Jamal Williams is the preferred back in Detroit.
I can't sit Sutton this week.
When was the last time he did anything?
Last time he played the team he's playing today. Same as his quarterback. Play callers changed too. Nathaniel Hackett's no longer calling plays because somebody finally told me he doesn't know what he's doing. I am sitting. Maybe I am sitting Sutton. This is hard.
I tell you.
The one that I really want to sit here is Mike Williams. I'm worried about him only coming back from this ankle. I think he's coming back early. Keenan Allen's coming back too. Screw it. I'm sitting Swift and Williams. Bryce?
Isn't that wild?
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm sitting I'm going to sit Pacheco and Williams.
I'll take Mike Williams over Sutton all day. Denver blows, Sutton blows.
I will bet that easily, especially with Jerry Jeudy out.
Easily? He just got outscored by Hindle, the fucking wide receiver COVID quarterback. And Virgil, whatever the hell Virgil is.
He's the $1 Million Man's manager, isn't he? Like, I don't even know who the hell that guy is.
I don't either.
Looking at I know I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I kind of pride myself on knowing who players are. Like when Bryce and I were on, we were talking about who's that Lions wide receiver?
Kennedy.
I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Dude, I didn't know who it was.
Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy's more known than Virgil. I don't even know Virgil's other name. I can't remember.
About Nick Virgil?
Tom Kennedy could knock on my front door and I wouldn't know who the hell he is. And Virgil? I've never heard of that guy in my life.
Oh, your percentage is up to 65 now, Bryce.
See? People are coming around on Bryce.
No, 65% that he sucks.
Oh, that's wrong. That's garbage.
You know what? They can look at my last 2 weeks of DFS lineups. How about that?
Well, that's fine. We're talking fantasy football here, not daily fantasy.
Daily
fantasy, baby.
Fantasy, is it not?
Yeah, just because you sucked at drafting all your teams and now you have all the information to actually be good to set a lineup for today.
I'm in like 10 leagues. Three of them are I'm rebuilding. 3 I'm in like first or second, and then there's 3 I'm in the hunt. I'm doing pretty well.
Well, those are none of the ones I'm in.
Well, no, that's the rebuild. But look at my draft capital.
Jalen Virgil is his name. He doesn't even have a picture when you Google him.
There's a lot of guys that don't have pictures, in fairness.
I mean, every other person that shows up here has a picture.
Just Pacheco?
Even Alex.
Okay, let's calm down. The dude caught a 65-yard pass, and that was it, right?
Okay, would Sutton do that? Pass. No, Sutton wouldn't do that because he hasn't done that.
If you want to bet Virgil against Sutton, I'm here for you.
I'm not betting Virgil against Sutton.
What are we betting? Williams? Sutton?
Williams versus Sutton. I got it right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's what you say every week. And then you go 0-3 and 1-8, 1-7.
Most weeks, yeah.
I thought you were quitting.
Don't have to be a dick.
Oh, man.
It's more fun when I get to play.
It's more fun when I be a dick.
Well, that's fair. I'll give you that.
Need a flex. DPJ, Pickens, Wandell, or Michael Carter.
I'm going DPJ. That guy is like 7 for 80 almost every week the last month. He just gets in the end zone. Look out.
Bryce.
You go, Rick.
I'm going Michael Carter.
It's between Michael Carter and Pickens for me. Pickens gets in the end zone. That's the only problem. I'll go George Pickens. I think
Pickens gets in the end zone?
When's the last time Pickens got in the end zone?
Last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he got a touchdown last week.
Okay.
Oh, that's like the only touchdown Pittsburgh scored in the past month. So I didn't.
No, he's gotten in the end zone like.
I thought he sort of disappeared the last like 2 or 3 games. I thought it became more of a Fryer type offense.
Pickens. I can get the game logs here. He did not have one last week. He had one the week before.
No, he did. He rushed it.
Why is it? This is weird. No,
he rushed a touchdown last week.
Oh, a rushing touchdown.
Then he had.
He can't even get in there.
He had a goose egg against Philly, and then against Miami, he had a pretty good week as well. So I mean, out of the last 3 games, he's had 2 pretty good ones. So it's not like he's like.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong then.
Yeah, Michael Carter could have a nice PPR day against New England, but I'll go with Pickens playing against their biggest rival at home.
I mean, we really did not help Andres at all.
No.
Nope. Pickens, Michael Carter, and DPJ. I don't know. He should pick Michael Carter because that's an easy second. That's close for me.
What he should do is start Wandell and say screw us altogether.
But I would start George Pickens.
Bryce, who wins that game today?
Pittsburgh or Cincy?
Oh, Pats, Jets.
Oh, Pat's easy. Yeah, I think by multiple scores. That Zach Wilson just cannot. He does not have good games against us.
Belichick is a genius against.
He might have yards. He might get yards, but he'll have picks with it.
Well, that's fair. We're gonna let the crowd go ahead and pick the player there. I put up a poll with this question here for Andre, since we literally did not help a bit. Except for what I can tell you is that the community has voted 65% think Bryce sucks at fantasy football. So if you want to throw out his pick,
that's fine.
You might be able to narrow it down a little bit. Fine. Marco says voted no. Voted no. Marco's got your back.
I'm helpful.
Usually.
Marco likes scrotum and Bryce. We got that established.
Not Bryce and scrotum though.
I mean, I knew that's where it was going.
Don't even say stuff like that.
Whoever has the least number of $5 bet wins is the one bad at fantasy football.
Oh,
beat it, Thomas, you dick.
Why is everybody being a dick to you today, Sully?
I don't know. Probably because they're not wrong.
I mean, can we all just agree this is Brian Robinson against?
Oh my
Houston?
God! This week by a mile. By a mile.
We all had the same amount of $5 bet wins. Rick
really?
Had a $20 bet against Sully.
That one stings because
that counts for 4.
It does. If you count it however
I wasn't
you want.
on that bet.
That one sucks because it was like both sucked.
Are those just the ones that all 3 of us did? No, I just counted how many we've each won. We've each won 10 $5 bets. Well, you have won one $20 bet. We should cut that down though into just the ones that all 3 of us are in, because I think you and I have done more than Sully, so that may make him the winner.
You're pretty equal.
You've bet the least because
I missed the week. Oh, so I've got the best percentage. Yep.
I don't know. I've got a couple I don't have in here.
I think what's really interesting here is if we all have the same number of $5 bets and 65% of the people think that Bryce sucks at fantasy football, then the transitive property would say that we also suck at fantasy football.
But no, that's only if it's a percentage though. We may have the same number, but if you did double the amount of bets, then that makes you twice as bad.
That's fair. But I think that when I looked today, they looked pretty equal number-wise.
Have to pick up a waiver QB if Kyler doesn't play. Well, Call of Duty Warzone 2 came out this week. Kyler's probably not playing. Baker, Mills, or Dalton?
Could you pick up Colt McCoy?
I did last week, and I was
I
thrilled.
would rather play Colt McCoy than all three of those options.
I'm the same way. I would rather play Colt McCoy as well if he's out there.
Yeah, but if it's these three, it's not Baker.
Of those three, it's Andy Dalton, and that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's Andy Dalton, kind of easy, right?
Yeah.
Colt McCoy over all of them.
Gross.
Colt McCoy, Castile, Carr or Matt Ryan, or should I pick up Mills or Heineke? I would probably go.
Ugh, this one's tough this week.
Yeah, for me, it's in between Carr and Heineke. Heineke gets a couple soft matchups this week and next week. It's not Mills and I don't trust Indianapolis and Matt Ryan. I got to see more than one game with Jeff Saturday as the head coach.
Oh, I think they run it 35 times today.
Yeah, I'm going Carr, and then Heineke would be my B in this equation. And I'm not a Heineke fan. Everybody knows that, but he gets Houston this week, and then I think Atlanta next week.
Yeah, and Houston's best corner's not playing. Their rookie corner that's been playing pretty well, he's not playing this week.
But that also means Washington could run all over Houston and not even throw the ball any. But he could run all over them as well. So he does have some legs to get you some rushing upside. But
yeah,
I mean, it's Carr for me. Ugh.
Yeah, it's Carr for me as well.
There's no way I'm starting Carr against the Broncos. They eat quarterbacks for breakfast.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't know that's.
I didn't even think about that. I'm
Mills,
probably starting Heineke.
Mills is Mills.
Give me Heineke here.
It's Heineke or Ryan for me, and I'm going to go with Heineke, but I'm a little worried that, to Rick's point, they just run all over him all day. I think Ryan might have a quarter and a half of garbage time today.
Hey, if Colt McCoy is out there,
yeah, I'd start Colt McCoy over all these guys.
I would start Colt McCoy over all of them.
What a weird ass year.
What
he always
doing?
seems like he plays well as a backup.
Yeah, he has, especially in Arizona. He has.
Yeah.
Another difficult question: McPherson or Joseph?
Oh, that's not hard at all. Joseph stinks. McPherson, please.
McPherson.
He's been struggling lately as well, but at the same time, never pick a Vikings kicker. Like, just do yourself a favor and pick any other team except maybe the Chargers.
Bryce? I mean, I'll take McPherson. I haven't looked at these guys' numbers. Both offenses can drive the ball, so that's all that really matters.
Michael needs to know: are we starting Daniel Jones or Kirk Cousins? Bryce.
Kirk Cousins for me.
Who won that bet last week? I think it was DJ, right? Or it was Dimes won that bet?
Yeah. I was the only one that took Danny Dimes.
It's crazy. Cousins threw for 354 yards. They're back-to-back in my rankings. Jones is one spot higher than Cousins, so I'll go with Jones.
I'm going with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it was close. Not like he blew him out. Just Jones had 22. He threw like a 50, or it's like a 60-something yard touchdown to Darius Slayton, where it was a simple pass that the guy missed a tackle.
Slayton looked great on that play.
Will Devontae Adams play today?
Check
Mike
up
wants
on
to know.
Twitter. He's supposed to. The two guys that I trust the most on Twitter, Rappaport and Sheffy, have him as expected to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not the insiders, Michael. That we wish we were. We definitely do, but I haven't. Sully probably did a physical on Devontae Adams this week, but the results aren't in yet.
We used to have a Patriots insider. Remember that guy?
Who, me?
No, he was an NFL insider. Remember? Because the one that finally broke the camel's back was he was saying that he had an insider with the Saints.
Oh, because I thought he was the insider that had the Patriots signing Kaepernick to the practice roster.
Well, he did say that, but it wasn't just the Patriots. He was a Patriots fan though. But
yes, he was.
The last one was something about the Saints and his insider with the Saints and how they were going to sign somebody or trade somebody or something. And it was, yeah, we don't have insiders. We'll just be clear. We're not going to say an unnamed source because that's what he did every week. We're like, dude, you can't say that. You don't know shit. You don't know nobody. And you're wrong every time.
Right.
Isn't this crazy that this is an actual legit question? Because 4 weeks ago, if you said this, we would have punched you in the face through the screen and told you to start Lamar Jackson. It's not so cut and dry anymore, as Fields has been the highest scoring fantasy player 2 weeks in a row. Is anybody sitting Lamar Jackson for Justin Fields at this point? Are you guys really?
Well, the matchup this week is just gravy, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good for both of them.
Who's rushing for more yards? Like Fields. That's all it comes down to for me. Who's running the ball more and rushing for more?
Here's an even crazier one. Who's a better runner? I think Fields is a better runner because he can actually absorb some hits and break some tackles. And he's fast as F.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a 61 and a 67-yarder the past 2 weeks and was not touched on either of them.
Like
that's not supposed to happen in the big boy league, right? That's
I don't
not
expect.
Supposed to happen.
He didn't even do that much in college.
He didn't need to at Ohio State. They just dominated everybody.
Yeah, he had Wilson and Olave. So I mean,
I don't expect the man to score 40 fantasy points every week, but I don't know, man.
I'll ride with the hot hand. Lamar hasn't been super impressive since like week 3.
He hasn't, and here's a weird one. They both have about the same talented receiving core. Figure that one out.
Yeah, total. Yeah.
And Baltimore's gonna. They both run a lot. I'm sticking with Fields right now. I'm like to Bryce's point.
Yep.
I mean, it's tough. I still think that if I have Lamar Jackson, I'm starting Lamar Jackson over Justin Fields. I'm not. So basically 2 weeks ago, I started Tua and Hurts over Fields. Last week, I sat Tua, played Fields, and still played Hurts. So I could definitely be wrong here, but I just think Lamar Jackson has been consistently good for such a long period of time. I just still trust him more, even if maybe Fields' ceiling is higher, because he may rush for another 150 yards today. Like, that's just what they're doing right now. And everybody knows I love Fields, but I still think for fantasy, I trust Lamar Jackson to not ruin a week more than I trust the Bears, because we've seen it before. Bears could go back and score 13 points today and us be going, what the hell's going on?
Do you know where Justin Fields ranks amongst all rushers the last 3 weeks?
He's a leading rusher.
He's second. There's one person that ran for 3 more yards than him over the last 3 weeks.
Oh, I must have seen it before that person played their game or whatever. But
no, Derrick Henry has 3 more rushing yards, and he's played this week as well. But
Justin Fields on a 4-week consistent /tear. I mean, he had 26, 24.
Well, he's the number 1 quarterback since week 5, right? Yeah. Like he has been good and everything, but I'm not there yet when it comes to Lamar. And it's only Lamar, Allen, and Mahomes. Everybody else I'm starting Fields over. Those are the only 3 that I'm
ranked 3rd this week, behind Mahomes and Allen.
Good morning, guys. Jim needs to know full PPR. Start 1, DJ Moore, Deonta Foreman, MVS. I have Kelsey starting, and Lazard didn't do so well. I'm going Deonta Foreman here. I could see going MVS. MVS is my second here, and if you really need upside with Juju and Hardman out, I could see MVS getting some play here, and having the upside. But I just think Deonta Foreman is the safe play and has a pretty solid ceiling in comparison. Sully.
Every single time in my life that I've had to rely on MVS, he's treated me poorly. So he's out. DJ Moore is really out, and it's Foreman here rather easily for me. Bryce?
Yeah, I'll go Deonta Foreman easily as well.
Taylor Meredith wants to know Swift, Carter, London, PPR pick 2. So we're sitting one of these. Ugh. Sully, which one are you sitting?
My initial thought was you sit London, but I really worry. Like, London just catches one pass, he might do better than Swift all day, but I think I'm sitting London. I have to think Swift's going to get a little bit more involvement. And Bryce's point earlier is Carter's pretty good PPR option for the Jets today. I'll sit Drake London, and it makes me sad. Bryce?
I'm going to sit Swift. I like Carter the most out of these 3. But London's got a pretty good matchup. I really think that game today could be high scoring. Offenses are kind of similar. Run first, obviously, and quarterback's a part of that run game. But if they got to throw the ball, it's got to be London or Pitts. So I'll take my chances that London catches one pass and gets more points than Swift this week. Rick,
I'm sitting Swift here too, and it sucks.
But yeah, it does suck. He's a good buy low in dynasty formats right now.
And then we found out that Bryce has used his bet wins to pay Marco to say that he doesn't suck at fantasy football.
I might need to change my vote now after finding this out. This is really, really upsetting, Bryce.
But what do you expect, Sully? He's a Patriots fan.
Well, if you're not cheating,
they're gonna cheat, right?
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, though, right?
Yeah. Thomas says, in my defense, I don't know who has the least number of bet wins. So he wasn't picking on Sully. Sully just thought that it was obvious.
Surprised it wasn't, actually.
Is it fair trade? I trade Lamar and Thielen for Debo. I already have Tua and Field. I would. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Fields and Tua give you pretty much the same tier as Lamar right now. And Debo, even struggling, is superior to Thielen by a long shot. So I would too.
I mean, yeah, I would. I would try and look for better options than Debo, though, at a guy at Lamar's caliber. So, but I mean, it depends if this is super flex or not, obviously.
I mean, if it's super flex, then I'm probably not. And I probably am looking for a more consistent wide receiver. If this is one QB, then this is a smash trade for me.
Yeah, it has to be one QB because you don't need to add Thielen to get Debo to Lamar in Superflex.
George Kittle or Greg Dulcich. I can't afford for Kittle to drop 3 points again.
Well, Dulcich had 2.6 last week because I started him, and I'm well aware.
Did you make it through your guillotine league?
I did, but Pitts was on my bench and scored 4.8, so they continue to haunt me on a weekly basis. That guillotine league, you know who I dropped in week 4? Justin Fields.
That stings.
Yeah. I think I have Kittle ranked higher. At least
I'll go Kittle. I'll go the more talented tight end.
I'm going
better
Kittle.
Offense.
I'm going Kittle as well.
They're both in my top 8. That says everything you need to know about tight end right now. Kittle's at 4, Dulcich is at 7. That position is awful, like all-time awful now.
Yeah, it's not good. Other options: Mac Jones or Matt Ryan.
We chose Andy Dalton earlier. I'd go Matt Ryan over Andy Dalton.
I would go Matt Ryan over Andy Dalton as well.
I might go both of them over Andy Dalton, but I'll go Matt Ryan as well.
I would probably go both of these guys over him as well, but Matt Ryan's number 1.
Because Steele's got some real shit quarterbacks, hey? Like, those are brutal.
Yeah. Trey says, morning, gents. Full PPR. Need to start 2. Singletary, Zeke, Michael Carter, or Elijah Mitchell. Thanks and good luck today. Michael Carter's my number 1 here, I think. And then I'm probably going Mitchell. Probably Carter and Mitchell for me. Bryce, what are you thinking?
Yep, I'm going to go Michael Carter and Elijah Mitchell as well.
My number 1 here is Devin Singletary. He's being involved more in the red zone. I think with Josh Allen's elbow a little bit banged, they're trying to keep him from those rushing scores, but I think that Singletary's been heavily involved in that offense and performing well, and the Browns are not good against the run. My second would be Michael Carter, just because of the pass catching upside. Zeke's a question mark, and I'm really expecting Elijah Mitchell to fall off this week, which means he's going to score 40 points. So,
Michael says PPR, Kmet or Njoku. Sully, Kmet or Njoku?
Cole Kmet. I'm not sure Njoku's even playing. He might be, but I'm not sure he's cleared.
I'm pretty sure he did log a full practice this week. I think I was confusing him and Gus Edwards, but I'm pretty sure Njoku is the one that just recently logged in a full practice and is expected to play.
That said, even if he's active, I would take Cole Kmet here.
Yeah, it comes to the tight end position. I'll rock with the hot hand until it changes. So I'll go with Cole Kmet as well. Rick.
Man, Njoku was playing so well before he got hurt. If Njoku's in, I'm I'm leaning in Njoku. Komet's obviously been playing well as well. This one's really close if they're both healthy and on the field. I probably go Komet just to see if Njoku's limited. You can kind of avoid that whole issue if you go with Komet. And if Njoku only gets 14 snaps and runs routes on 7 of them, at least you've got Komet in there doing some stuff. So I probably go Komet as well, but Njoku could be big for you down the stretch if he gets healthy and Deshaun Watson comes back in a couple weeks. It could be a boon for them. Jeff says start 1 full PPR, Debo, Amari, James Conner, Dameon Pierce. I'm leaning Pierce, even though Washington is pretty good against running backs. Sully, who you starting here? We're only starting 1.
I'm going Dameon Pierce. It's just volume, right? Like the guy gets like 25 to 30 touches a game. I just think the opportunity speaks to him here. So I'm going to go that way. What are you doing, Bryce?
I was going to go James Conner until I saw the matchup because his volume just went through the roof as well.
And this is full PPR. Dameon Pierce does not catch passes.
Yeah,
neither is James Conner.
I mean, he does. He got 3 for 3, and then the last week he had 5 for 5.
Yeah, he's had 8 in the past 2 weeks.
So I think I'm gonna stick with him and hope he still stays involved in the pass game, and that's where he gets kind of his bread and butter. Because if they get in the red zone, they're gonna give him the ball. Like he only carried the ball for 3.3 yards per carry and still saw 21 totes. So.
Yeah, they got to get in the red zone first, though.
Yeah, that's the matchup. If this was a better matchup, this would be easily like James Conner a little easier for me. But
like Nuke's a game time decision. Colt McCoy's the quarterback. I don't know. But I don't
Colt McCoy. I don't really care about that as much.
Fair.
I'll go James Conner because I mean, even then, that they probably still have an equal chance of scoring a touchdown. I'll take the guy that gets more involved in the pass game. Rick.
I'm going completely different here.
Cooper.
I keep trying to talk myself into one of the running backs, but I do agree. Arizona struggling to move the ball. Houston, Dameon Pierce is great, but he catches no passes at all. And could go for 120 and score you exactly 12 points. Because they may not score any touchdowns in this game either. So I'm going to Amari Cooper. I think that the target share that he gets, I think Cleveland's going to have to throw the ball today with the Bills playing the Bills. And I'll take the PPR points and hope it's one of the big Amari Cooper days.
So Amari Cooper's really good at home and really bad on the road. So what is today?
I mean, it's a road game. Either way you look at it, right? Like they are the away team playing in a different player stadium, but yeah, I mean, if this should be Debo. We should be easily answering this Debo, but I think, and I even posted this question on our YouTube in a image poll of who gets hurt with Christian McCaffrey coming to town, and everybody thought the offense was just going to score a bajillion and everybody was going to be good. But as we've seen, Ayuk has been the one that has been hurt the least by Christian really McCaffrey's attention. I think people are finally starting to realize, though, that Ayuk's pretty good when he's not causing trouble, and he hasn't been since he kind of got out of the doghouse last year. He's been pretty solid, consistent wide receiver. But yeah, I mean, it should be Debo, but I'm going to go Amari here. Could have 11, 12, 13 targets today. Wouldn't surprise me. DPJ did win the last poll. He had 44% of the votes. Pickens had 31%, and Michael Carter had 25% of the votes. So
the public is with me. It's good feeling.
We are going to start another one here.
No, they hate you.
Full PPR.
This is another one where we really didn't help our good friend Jeff out.
Right. I'm putting the poll up right now.
Yeah. I was right the last time. I'm right this time too.
I mean, that doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah, it does.
So we said Cooper.
This is a democracy here.
Cooper, Connor, and Dameon Pierce. Are the three we went with, right?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get last in this poll.
You almost sold me. Sold me.
I think I'm last. I think I'm last on this one too. I was last on the last one.
I think you are too. But you easily have the upside of it though. Like you're right. Like he could catch 3 for 48 and 2, right? Like, and that blows these guys away. So, yeah.
Deonta Foreman or Antonio Gibson? This is for Renan over on YouTube. Flex and full PPR. I'm going Gibson.
Me too.
Yeah, I think I got to go Gibson.
Gibson with Brian Robinson. Gibson's usage has been better than it's ever been. J.D. McKissick's out because he's on IR. They're using him in the pass game. He's a solid enough runner, and they're playing against Houston, right? It's Gibson for me.
Amen.
Tony or Gabe Davis? Sully.
Good
you look
God.
excited, so I wanted you to go first. You look so excited.
It's Kadarius Toney. Bryce?
Kadarius Toney, kind of easy for me.
Kadarius Toney for me as well.
Gross.
Yeah, sir. Says start one at flex. Keenan Allen, Darnell Mooney, or George Pickens. Bryce, we'll let you go first on this one.
Keenan Allen's playing. I'm playing Keenan Allen. They're in kind of a. I mean, they're fighting somewhat to stay in the playoff race and everything. So they gotta keep up with the Chiefs, and they can score at will. So Keenan Allen's going to be a big part of that offense tonight. Sully.
Keenan Allen says he wasn't coming back until he was 100%, and Keenan Allen is back, and Keenan Allen is 100% the best wide receiver on this list. So Keenan Allen for me, please.
For now.
Keenan Allen for me as well. And then second would be Darnell Mooney, and third would be George Pickens.
My second would be George Pickens.
You're wrong.
It's 2A, 2B. I think both of them will disappoint you and break your heart, but Keenan Allen should be fine.
One running back, 2 flex. Swift, Brian Robinson, Pacheco, A-Rob, Nico Collins. So we need one of the running backs. I'm going Brian Robinson over Pacheco this week against Houston.
I'm with you.
Sully, right?
I'm with you.
I agree.
Okay. Now we've got Swift, Pacheco, A-Rob, and Nico Collins, and we got to find 2 of those.
Pacheco and A-Rob for me.
That's what I'm going with as well. Pacheco and Robinson.
Yep. I'm going to go Pacheco and Robinson as well.
Now or never for Allen Robinson.
This is where we find out, right? If Allen Robinson is really cooked, or if this is a
his quarterback.
I don't even know if you can really figure it out. We thought that Stafford was going to be the best quarterback that he ever played with, and I would still argue that 2018 Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback that he's ever played with. I
think Stafford is the best quarterback, but Stafford apparently hates him, so that's not a good thing. But he has no choice but to love him now.
Right, but even Stafford's been bad this year. Like, it's not we're getting actual Stafford, Matt Stafford that we know for years, but
I'd have to look up 2018 Mitch Trubisky, but that seems
that was the year that he made the Pro Bowl and they had the double doink. Like, Mitch actually played pretty well that year.
They were like 11-5.
Yeah, I can't remember what their record was exactly, but I would still have to say that was the best season of quarterback play that he has had, but still not Blake Bortles just tossing the ball up 2015 style or whatever year that was.
Mark Andrews is officially active. He is back.
Yes.
Excuse me. I was wondering. Let's see. Right now we have the poll. Amari Cooper, 50%. Dameon Pierce, 50%. Only 6 votes though. So it's only 6 votes in. We'll leave that up for a little bit. And
so Bryce is wrong again.
I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect?
100% of the time.
I said I'd be last. I said I'd be last in this one.
David Njoku is also active, guys.
Need that. That's big for me.
And Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh are both active for the Eagles. That's kind of fun.
Do you start Hunter Henry over Cam Akers?
Yeah, you can't start Cam Akers right now. The dude's getting like 4 carries for 9 yards. I hate it. I hate it because you guys know I was a big Cam Akers fan.
What's going on there?
That whole offense is just in shambles right now. And then no Cooper Kupp makes it even worse, right? Okay, so here's the question Castile's got. Are we starting Dalton Schultz or David Njoku?
I'm sticking with Schultz.
With
Dak Schultz for me as well.
Schultz is a great option.
He's been getting targeted a ton by Dak since he came back.
I think our poor boy Brad forgot about Schultz, like that he even existed, because he didn't put him in a top 12 tight end list. And man, the comments on YouTube, people are mean. Sometimes you just miss something, guys, just to let you know. Like, we're not perfect. We're humans.
I miss shit all the time.
And unfortunately, the thing that we don't have that, your ESPNs and CBSs and Matthew Berry's of the world have is a full team to cross-reference everything. So sometimes you forget some stuff. It's just Brad putting the list together, then hoping he didn't forget anything. I had Mooney in because the matchup versus ATL. Yeah, I mean, I like Mooney there, but who was the other one that we had here? Keenan Allen's just, you just can't sit him if he's healthy.
Gus Edwards is out.
Gus Edwards is out. Fire up Kenyon Drake.
AJ Terrell is out, so Mooney looks better as well. Oh, I'm sorry. AJ Terrell is back. So maybe a little bit of a down tick for Mooney there.
Full PPR. Mike Williams or Chase Claypool? Thank you and have a nice day. Mark, we cannot start Chase Claypool yet. I think he only had 16 snaps last week. He's getting eased into this Bears offense. It takes a lot to learn this stuff. It's been a big conversation around Chicago this week. Mike Williams is the one that you got to go with this week. Hopefully Claypool in the future will be a startable asset, but it's just not yet. Anybody have any disagreements there?
No.
None.
Timothy says, should I trade away Debo and Patterson to get Keenan Allen and James Conner? So this is Debo Samuel, Cordarrelle Patterson, or Keenan Allen and James Conner.
Oof. My initial thought was yes, but now I'm sort of leaning no.
I would take Keenan Allen and James Conner in a redraft format.
I am taking Keenan Allen and James Conner as well. And luckily I have them both in the Grand Prix, and hopefully they ball out.
Oh, I hope they don't. Actually, I needed James Conner to play well, but not.
I guess I'm with you guys. Debo's such a frustrating piece, and that backfield in Atlanta has about 7 guys in it. So maybe it is Allen and Conner. I just worry about the health of both of those guys.
Yeah, so we're worried about usage of 2 guys, and we're worried about health of 2 guys. And it's like, give us clarification.
Can't really worry about injury, though, right? They can all get hurt. So
yeah. Okay, so we are up to 9 votes. We have Dameon Pierce at 56%, Amari Cooper at 33%, and James Conner at 11%.
The people are right, and so am I.
Nah, we'll find out.
2 for 2.
We'll find out. With Everett questionable, starting Pitts is a no-brainer, right? This answer is no. It's not a no-brainer because it depends on who else is available, who you could get to put in. Because as much as I want to start Pitts right now, if you have an option, like here's, for example, if you can pick up Conklin off the waiver wire, are you starting Conklin or Pitts?
Pitts.
I'll take Pitts this week.
I'll take Conklin all day. Why? Because he scores more fantasy. I want it to be Pitts. I want it to be Pitts.
Conklin's going to get our safety on him. Like, I just don't see Zach Wilson having a good day unless Conklin he could get all the garbage.
Pitts plays for Atlanta just like he has the rest of the season, and he's been a startable asset 2 times.
This is a serious question. Does Conklin have more fantasy points this year than Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
He does, hey?
You can probably take 3 of Conklin's weeks and get all of Pitts' year.
I just have a feeling this is a Pitts week. Like, I don't know.
I will.
Any. It's just like a gut feeling this week.
Between Everett and Pitts, I'm starting Pitts. Between Pitts and Conklin, I'm starting Pitts. Pitts is
Conklin is the tight end 7 on the season.
Yeah.
Conklin averages 9.2 fantasy points.
Yeah.
We go down here to Kyle Pitts at tight end 20, averaging 7.6, but those are actually just 2 big weeks and everything else booty.
The only thing I'll say is Tyler Conklin made hay while the sun shined with Joe Flacco. That's where a lot of his success came from. With Zach Wilson, it hasn't been as much. But since Breece Hall went down, he has been a little bit more relevant in that offense. So I'm still going to stick with Pitts this week.
So we're gonna do something fun here real quick. I'm pulling this up because this is the stuff I like to do when I'm trying to decide between two players. So we can look at Kyle Pitts in PPR leagues. He has scored more than 8 points 2 times all season. He has an 8.7 in week 3, and week 8 he had 14 points. He has been under 3 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 games.
Good God.
He's got a 7.9, an 8.7, and a 14. Everything else is under 3 points. I don't think you can start Kyle Pitts at this moment, but we're gonna go and we're gonna look at Conklin just to see how he's been on a game log session here and see if it's all just a couple big weeks or what. Because I haven't looked at his game log. I don't have him anywhere.
I think his first 2 weeks, maybe even 3, were like he was a tight end 1.
11.6, 10, 16.4, 8.2. He had a goose egg in week 5. He had a 2.7 in week 6, and then his 6.2, a 25.9 with Zach Wilson, his best week of the year, and then a 1.7. So he's been like less. He's only got 3 weeks of 2 weeks of 3 points or less. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of 8+ points.
Now I'm moving him up my rankings.
Half PPR Olave or Tony, also Kamara or Dameon Pierce. Is anybody not starting Kamara and Tony here? I know Bryce might start Olave over Tony. I'm starting Tony and Kamara here.
I love Olave, but Kadarius Toney for me is like I think he's going to have a big week.
I'm starting Pierce over Kamara.
No,
and
more on Tony for me.
How many top 12 season or weeks Alvin Kamara has this year? 2. Every other week he's finished outside the top 22. Alvin Kamara is a myth, and he's not getting targeted. I don't want anything to do with him. This week, when I have Pierce as an option, who's been a top 12 running back multiple weeks, and I'm sticking with Olave over Tony, even though I think he has a really good opportunity. I think Chris Olave has a really good opportunity this week as well.
Taylor with the super chat. I love it.
Make it rain.
Taylor, we appreciate you. You have been our number 1 super chat fan of the season, no doubt, and it's very, very much appreciated. We really, really appreciate it. Atlanta has the 5th highest point total this week. Someone has to score those points, so Pitts or Kmet. I mean, we just went over that it's not Pitts whenever they score points. I'm going Kmet. I don't love it. Pitts is a better tight end, right? There's only a couple guys in the league that even compare talent-wise to Pitts. Or at least what we assumed, right? Maybe we were wrong. There's been can't misses before. Anybody remember Kellen Winslow Jr., who had the same type of hype as Pitts coming out into the league? Sometimes it don't work out. But I do think this is more of an Atlanta problem than it is a Pitts problem.
Yeah.
But still, 9 games, 6 of them under 3 points. You got to go with Kmet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're back-to-back in my rankings, but who did Atlanta play last week? I watched the whole game. It must have been a primetime game. I can't remember who they played.
I mean, if you chose to watch Atlanta,
it had to have been.
It wasn't a primetime game.
I don't think it was a primetime.
Yeah, it was Thursday. They played Carolina, right? Last Thursday?
Oh,
yeah.
That's why I watched it.
Yeah.
So Kyle Pitts was targeted 8 times in that game. One of them was catchable, and he had 2 catches. Like, he made a ridiculous catch on one in the middle of the field, one handed over his head. The other ones were not even close. So I don't think it's a Kyle Pitts issue, but it doesn't really matter what the issue is. What matters is he's not getting any points. So Kmet's on a massive heater right now, and so is his quarterback. You got to go with Cole Kmet.
King Marcelo. Again, Taylor, thank you very much. And just so everybody knows, if you ever do, like, we go in order unless there is a super chat and then you get bumped to the top. But we appreciate that, Taylor, big time. King Marcelo says PPR need a receiver and a flex. Peoples-Jones, Jamal Williams, Joshua Palmer, George Pickens, down to Foreman, Pacheco. Jamal Williams is the easy one here for me.
I agree.
And so that means we have to have a receiver for the other one. And I think I go Peoples-Jones. So I think it's Peoples-Jones and Jamal Williams for me, Bryce.
Jamal Williams and George Pickens for me.
It's Donovan Peoples-Jones for me. And where I'm flip-flopping back and forth is Williams and Foreman right now. But I'm with Rick. I'm going to go with Williams. The guy seems to score 2 touchdowns every week somehow. So I'm just going to go with him.
He's so good. I love him too, man. He's the kind of player that I would love to have on my team.
I like him a lot.
Gibson or Foreman in PPR. This is for Fam First over on YouTube. I'm going Gibson against Houston.
Did we have this earlier?
We may have had this, or these two have been in a question together.
Yeah,
there may have been somebody else.
I'm going Gibson. I'm pretty sure I did it earlier too.
Back to back in my rankings, I'm going to go with Foreman 1 spot ahead of Gibson.
Joe Lindsay says, to follow up, I have Pitts, Everett, and Jonnu Smith. Waiver wire is closed. You're going Pitts here then.
You have to. Yep.
Yeah, you're going Pitts here then, because if Everett doesn't play,
it's a later game.
You don't want it to be Jonnu. I can tell you that much. So
well, he couldn't wait. Everett plays tonight.
That's what I'm saying. What I mean is, if you wait on Everett and he doesn't play, then you're screwed. So you got to put in Pitts because he plays early, and you at least get a player.
Yeah, or waiver wire's closed. I was like, you could pick up McKitty.
That's what I'm saying. Waiver wire closed. You can't wait on Everett. Like that's just out of question. I think. Is that what you're thinking, Sully?
Well, yeah. I don't want to be a dick, but I'm thinking there's a good chance you might not score regardless of what you do here. But I think you have to start Kyle Pitts. Like, if Everett was healthy, I would start him, but he's not. And you're right. The game time Sunday night, you can't risk it. And I don't know what happened to Jonnu Smith, man. I used to really like that guy.
We're going to go ahead and end this poll. And where we were at was Dameon Pierce, 45%, Amari Cooper, 36%, and James Conner, 18%. I can't remember the name on who asked that question, but we didn't help you. I think that you can then go.
I did. I was right again.
I'm talking about us as a team, Sully. This is an individual thing.
It is. If you listen to me, you get it right. Both polls have proven that.
Okay, so you can go ahead and go with Sully, but if you actually want to score the most points, you go with me. That's if you want.
How do you figure that?
If you want to have the fan, because.
Why don't you put up the "Does Rick suck at fantasy football" poll and let the people decide?
I will. I'm
Nobody's going to vote against them.
I'm not a vote. Do what?
Nobody's going to vote you suck.
Well, yeah, because I don't.
It just block you and delete you.
They just
say the poll and put in like 8 votes.
They're sending in they're sending letters to HR right now. Can you get Rick off hosting the Boomer Bust show? They don't realize that I'm HR and
I was gonna say who is HR?
You're the Jerry Jones of this thing.
Brad should be HR, although
no. Brad can't be HR. Brad the worst for HR because he's too nice. You have to have a firm hand.
He's the purest member on that team, at least it used to be.
Yeah, until he comes back from camp.
That's true. Camp messed that dude up.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's too nice. Like I tell people that hey, we need to do this, and then they don't do it, and then Brad's like, "Oh, it's okay. It's all right." No, it's not.
Super chat.
Taylor in the house. Such a beast. I put up the poll. I'm up there. 100% yes.
That you suck?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you run
only one vote?
Did you run mine yet?
Right, Bryce. I haven't ran yours yet.
I'm not on YouTube. Okay. I'm not on YouTube right now.
Bryce over there voting against me.
I might get on.
I didn't even vote against you.
I didn't vote.
I don't want you to run mine. I'm fragile.
Monty, Samuel, Tony, Drake. Who we going?
30-mile-an-hour winds in Baltimore. Is that what that means?
I was surprised we didn't get a lot of Montgomery questions today.
Kenyon Drake's the guy I'm playing here.
I'm going Monty. Isn't he going to get just fed like a beast?
Or Justin Fields goes for 200.
Yeah, but if Justin Fields goes for 200, he probably does that in 3 runs, right? Like, I don't know. You know that team better than anybody.
Well, yeah, but that kills the drives. I just think Drake. We've seen it with Drake as the solo back in Baltimore. And if there's 30-mile-an-hour winds there, then they're probably going to ask Lamar to throw less. So it's going to be more runs for Drake.
It's Fields over Lamar now for sure, right?
Yeah, if there's 30-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I mean, Monty's good too, but I think that they're still going to be looking for that one cut and go running back, and Ebner's going to get work. And the way that it sounded in Chicago is that he's going to get basically have the same role that Herbert had before Herbert went down.
Is Evans going to get any touches?
I don't know. Ebner gets like what, 3 to 4 a week, maybe on a good week. So I would assume that Evans kind of gets that same treatment. I would love to see.
I really like him.
And he just seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
Sticking up for us creators out there that
100%
only get 300 views on a video.
He's a good man.
Guy. Yeah, this is. I'm going Drake. It could backfire, but what are you gonna do? And
Bryce, what are you doing here?
He might be facing me in the league, so tell him the wrong player.
What are you doing, Bryce?
I want to go Kadarius Toney, but I'm going to go.
Tony's my second.
Kadarius Toney, then Drake for me. That's who I was fighting between. I like all these options, but it's crazy. Debo's last.
I was going to say, isn't that weird?
Is that Debo or Curtis? Because that would be a
either way.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Monty. I just have a feeling that he's going to get the majority of the work, and he's going to score. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores twice this week.
A lot this week too. Yeah. I mean, I like all three of those options, but I'll go Kadarius.
Andre says, thanks for the poll. With Njoku active and in my lineup, I'll go with Pickens. Hey, Andres, sometimes we split the room.
I hope that works.
We let everybody else pick it out so you get a little more there. As much as we joke around here about how wrong Bryce is and how wrong Sully is, I can't even. I couldn't make it through without laughing. But none of us are truly really worried about that we're right. We just want to make sure that we help people.
We're all wrong in this business. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, my saying since we started in 2019, if we knew half the shit we thought we knew, this game would be really easy. It just would.
Yeah.
Brad is taking too many vacations to be HR. That is true. He literally told me one day, he said, oh, yeah, I think you actually, was it you that commented on something about him taking a vacation? And he was like, I can't take these days. And then literally the next day he sends a message like, hey, guys, I'm going to be gone on Tuesday, taking my wife on vacation, a 1-day vacation for anniversary. I'm like, dude, we just talked about no vacations. And
he just needed my inspiration once again to take another one. So.
Yes, sir. We got another question coming in here. And this will probably be the last one. Duo trick shot, says Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr. Wow. Man, I was so high on Derek Carr. Talking about being wrong. I was so high on Derek Carr coming in.
What, this offseason?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's like me with J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers.
Well, J.K., that injury,
yeah,
I was kind of worried about that.
Cam Akers was my big one I was off on.
Cam Akers, there's just situations where the player and the team don't mesh, right? I think that's what happened with Kadarius Toney in New York. I think that's what's happened with Cam Akers in L.A. and their offensive line blows as well. But, now we're way off topic.
I was also big on Justin Fields being good, so at least I got something right.
I'll just
want to try to one-up me on Justin Fields? Because
I was always supporting. I was always defending that guy with my life. Felt like.
Call me crazy. I'll answer the question that was asked. I will go with Jimmy Garoppolo here.
I'll go Easily.
I'm going Jimmy Garoppolo here pretty easily too.
Jimmy's been quietly consistent.
That's the thing. Like he's probably not going to dud you a week.
Right, but he's been Carr
to dud you a week.
Derek Carr's playing who?
Denver.
Denver.
Oh, yeah, I'll go Jimmy Garoppolo. Sorry.
Damn, I was going to try to sneak a $5 bet in there.
So was I.
The matchup,
Why'd you have to
definitely
ask the appointment?
These two are matchup dependent a lot of times. Yeah, I'll go.
Jimmy's been quietly like 17 to 19 points almost every start. So that's not going to kill you.
Not enough to beat Danny Dimes last week. That's all I know.
Nope. And probably won't this week either. I think Jones is good this week.
Yeah. Fantasy football, I tell you, buddy. All right, here. So what we do have is is somebody ringing a doorbell?
That's just my little.
I mean, it got muted like halfway through your sentence. I have no idea what you said.
It's the freaking clock my wife has in this office.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a doorbell for real. If you want to play in our DraftKings league, I just dropped a link in the chat there. We got some spots in there. Come join us. Again, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. normally, unless Bryce cancels the show. Dynasty Heat Seekers for you Dynasty Fantasy Football freaks. 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. Wednesdays is the Fantasy Inferno, which is redraft centric for the next few weeks until we get out of the fantasy season. And then in the off season, it's going to switch up. We have a lot of cool stuff coming in 2023. I'm so excited. Speaking of Bryce, make sure in the team chat you join in when I say I need to hear from everybody. And
sorry, this time
let me know, because we've got some big meetings that you need to respond for. But yes, very, very excited about 2023. And Thomas is on Team Roto Heat, just so everybody in the chat knows. Thomas is a Roto Heat member. And if you need IDP advice, join the Discord. I will drop the Discord link. But he's also in here on Sundays helping out and can answer some questions in the chat that we can't, right? We're not gonna act like we know everything about IDP. We don't. That's just not our forte, but we're going to go ahead and get this invite here. And drop that in the chat. And I haven't seen any more questions come in. Sully, you got any last minute things?
Rondale Moore or Darnell Mooney?
I think I'm going Darnell Mooney. It's not easy. I want to go, I kind of want to go Rondale Moore, but that just all the questions surrounding Arizona make it tough to put him in over Mooney. We know it's going to be Mooney, the number one wide receiver, right, for Chicago. And we know who the quarterback is. We know the quarterback's on fire. We know the offense is on fire. Arizona's kind of the opposite. We don't even know if their head coach is going to be around much longer. We don't know if their starting quarterback's playing or if it's Colt McCoy. So that's the difference. The usage for Rondale Moore over the last few weeks has been great, though, and I'm excited he's been playing well. But just a lot of question marks around the Cardinals.
Okay,
I'll go Rondale Moore as well.
I mean, you obviously didn't listen to a word I said because I didn't.
No. Dude, I did league and I cannot get into it.
I did not pick Rondale Moore.
No, sorry, I will go Rondale Moore, not Darnell.
I'm Rondale Moore right now as well.
Yeah, I don't like the AJ Terrell's back.
It's
the only part of the game that for me that Fields hasn't been on fire is the passing game. He's been way better, but he's still not throwing a ton.
Well, yeah, he's not throwing a ton. He's been on fire throwing the ball though.
Yeah, his completion percentage and he looks good. Like he looks.
Well, like he's had the touchdowns too.
Yep, that's true.
But I mean, the last 2 weeks he's had 3 rushing touchdowns and 5 passing touchdowns, I think.
And four to Kmet, 1 to Mooney. Is that right?
5 to Kmet.
And Mooney has 1 in the last couple of weeks, right? Is only 1 of the year.
Oh, last 2 weeks though. Yeah, last 2 weeks it's been 2 and 2 the last 2 weeks for
every week. Yeah. Fields plays good and Rick gets richer.
I mean, He's not hurting me. You know how many emails I got this week? People asking if I'm the one that bought the 101 Justin Fields Prism for 90 grand. I'm like, who do you guys think I am?
I was going to say, I don't know if you got that much scratch kicking around, but that'd be cool if you did.
No. The guy did email me. He did email me because my Instagram is, Roto Heat Rick Instagram is all my Justin Fields collection. So now people are emailing me when they have these big cards going up for sale, acting like I'm just like rich. I mean, I've got a pretty decent collection, but not 90 grand on a 101 collection. Then somebody emailed me about the downtown gold vinyl 101 this week, and he's making me money. My other autograph session that was supposed to be this Monday got pushed back. He's not signing until like the 5th of December now, but I've got another nice poster coming. Nice. And I'm going to have to get a new lens so people can actually see the Justin Fields collection, because all of that back there, like I have Cubs on this side and this is Bears on this side, mixture in the middle. But both sides are just going to be Justin Fields and Chicago Bears stuff. And
that's cool.
But yeah, Bryce, any last minute things, any questions you got? I mean, if you want to get better at,
unless you're playing against me.
Wait.
How's your poll?
67% say that I suck at fantasy football.
And 65 was Bryce?
I don't know, because I didn't have that. Well, I only have 6 votes. Like, he actually got votes. Like, we asked when there was only 6 assholes in the chat.
I'm glad
actually,
I
not six, right? We only had 4 assholes in the chat. 2 of them were very nice individuals that voted for me.
I'm glad that
and one of them's Bryce.
I didn't vote. I promise.
Bryce logged in the 4 YouTube accounts to vote.
I have yet to vote.
All Bryce's burners have just been firing up, right?
He's the only one that voted yes on his, and the only one that voted no, or the only one that voted no on his. And
I'm just glad that you didn't have time to put it up for me.
Oh, we'll get next week.
Yeah, we've got next week.
Can you guys believe we still have 6 weeks after this one? Thomas said I just voted yes on both. Well, Thomas.
Yeah, but you're at 57% now.
Am I?
I just went in there and looked.
Yeah. Bryce sucks. Bryce, you suck.
Until I get this DraftKings lineup, it's gonna freaking wreck you.
Oh, that's cool, because I won't even pay attention when I put it in. I actually won an actual league, an actual contest last week, though. So
DraftKings this week is brutal.
I have spent so little time on DraftKings this year. It's not even funny. It's the first year in forever that I haven't spent much time on it.
I watched my friend.
I don't give. I watch. I used to watch Al all the time. I just haven't had the time. I'm growing so fast on Brandermine's side. And awesome. Losing my mind, and we're growing so fast here. We crossed 1 million views this week. That's so cool.
Very cool.
We appreciate everybody that has tuned in over the last 4 years. The people that keep coming back. We see a lot of the names in every stream. It's so awesome. And spending 4 years with people has created some bonds, and we really appreciate it. KT or Davis today, fellas, with Juju and Hardman out. I'm thinking Tony. I think we're going Tony here. I think we had this.
We did earlier.
Yeah, it was a 3-person, and I still think we all took Kadarius Toney, because I do think there was a third wide receiver in there.
There might have been, but it is Tony.
But yeah, we are going Tony as well. That is going to end the show for today. I wish everybody good luck, unless you're playing against me. That's all I got. Bryce?
You stole my line, so that's really unfair. But yeah, same thing if you're playing against me. And actually, I wish you luck against Rick, especially in the Grand Prix. Just in the Grand Prix. I hope you win in your other ones, Rick, if that makes you feel better.
I wish everybody luck, because if you're playing me, you'll need it.
I mean,
right?
Next Sunday.
Crickets, right? After that one.
Well, you already called me a dick, so I figured I better just let you have the last one. So don't get it out of me. Just take it.
That's okay.
Be happy.
That's okay.